Since 1964, the Sports Car Club of America's National Championship Runoffs has been the single most important amateur auto race in the nation. This weekend, almost 600 competitors will fight for a medal in what has been called the Olympics of auto racing. This is where professional racing careers are launched. This is where legacies are born. This is the SCCA National Championship Runoffs, presented by Garmin Verb.
And we welcome you live back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio on a glorious sunny Sunday for more coverage of these 2016 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Alongside Randy Pope, Steinbrück Benjamin, Jeff Lepper with our coverage on pit road. Starting to warm up a little bit, Randy, from the time we concluded the Formula Continental race a few moments ago. We've warmed up 7 or 8 degrees, now up to 64 ambient temperature. Track temps will be probably in the 70s when things continue to heat up here, maybe 80. You know, the sun, the asphalt here are collecting a lot of sun warmth in the early morning hours here, and that should help these next machines we'll see, the F production cars, put on quite a show.
Rick, is it really warmer, or was it just that jog to the restroom?
Well, that helped. That certainly got the blood flowing, no question about that. But, you take your advantages where you find them in this sport, as you well know.
This has been incredible weather for Mid-Ohio in almost October, and F production is a super cool class. More sports cars. More of the classic cars that SCCA was built on in the 50s and the 60s.
Sure.
Lotus Super 7s from the 50s.
A bunch of those at the top of the field. In fact, the front row is all Lotus Super 7. John Walker from Richland, Michigan in the 5 car on pole. In his Walker Racing entry, a minute 35.9 seconds for that pole time. Good crowd on hand once again here on Sunday, enjoying the lovely early fall weather. Kevin Ruck will take us around Mid-Ohio, our Garmin Verb onboard lap. Ruck qualifying nicely in 4th position from Pearsall, Texas in his Acura Integra, 1990 vintage Acura.
Crosses the finish line on the pit straightaway, heading for the fastest corner on the track. Turn 1, Ruck, the champion last year, back to defend, goes up the hill onto the Pro straightaway. This is the Pro configuration. You see the kink to the right for the traditional keyhole original circuit, but that adds a passing zone into Turn 2. Turn 2, the keyhole. Very important corner that decreases, drops downhill. Tricky, you got to have a good setup because it leads on this long straightaway. Your speed out of that corner affects you all this time. Look at that. If you're going 2 miles an hour faster, it's 2 miles an hour all the way to this brake zone. Downhill, blind, best passing opportunity on the track. Relatively fast turn 4 at the end of the back straightaway. Now we get into the hills and dales of Mid-Ohio. Jumping over the corner of 5 into 6. We got a great head-on view of that corner and into madness under the Honda Bridge. Left, right, left. Mid-Ohio with a lot of transitions, unlike a lot of road courses that have just corners. Back and forth over the jump turn, which gets the car almost completely off the ground. A short run up Thunder Valley to turn 11. One of the only early apex corners. Look, you turn early, track it all the way out, but not quite to the dirt. Dropping into the carousel, the car lightens up and slides around. Late apex, it gets tighter at the end. Over another hill, kinking back onto the pit straightaway. There's the finish line. The start line is actually halfway down that long back straight.
Acura safety car out on track to lead our 33-car field to green in just a couple of moments before we get going. Hayward Wagner taking over on pit road for us.
Guys, usually at the runoffs, if you have a big leader who cuts a tire and goes out of the race and resets things, you think that's a great race. Or if you have somebody that has contact and comes back through the field to challenge for the win, you think that's a great race. Or if someone runs wide and goes off for a long rough ride and comes back in to challenge for the win, you think that's a great race. Last year in F production, all of those things happened in one race. This year is going to be just as good a race as we saw last year.
We look forward to seeing it unfold here in just a couple of moments as the field starts to make its way around. Headed down through the kink area. They'll have one more pace lap to get things sorted out, get ready to go next time by. Lineup looks like this. We mentioned John Walker on pole in his Lotus. That's the 5 car. Stephen Hussey from California alongside the 37 car. Hussey, a guy who's been doing this a long time, starts on the outside pole here today. Eric Prill from Topeka, Kansas, high-ranking SCCA national official. He will start third in his Jesse Prather Motorsports Mazda. That's the 7 car. Still looking for his first national championship.
It's been so close.
Yes, he has. Kevin Ruck from Pearsall, Texas, the Ohio Valley Region campaigner in the 73, two-time champion, including last year in that Acura Integra. Joe Huffaker from Petaluma, California in the 77, in the Huffaker Engineering 77 car, the MG Midget, the black machine you see there, just cresting the hill and headed up through Thunder Valley. Joe has won the title in this category 3 consecutive years, 97, 8, and 9. He came back and won it in 2001. It's been a while since he's won the championship here, but we'll see if he can get going and take care of that again today. Starts 5th today. Charles
a real
Campbell.
SCCA hero, Huffaker.
Oh, absolutely.
And family.
Absolutely. Charles Campbell starts 6th in the 89 from Corey, Pennsylvania. That's a Mazda Miata. 7th starter is Peter Morton from Milford, Michigan in the 4 car. That is a Lotus Super 7, 1962 vintage. Starting 8th, David Bednars from Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's a Mazda Miata. 9th starter is Mason Workman from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. That's a Mazda Miata. And 10th starter is Ken Kennard from Sebring, Florida. That is also a Mazda Miata 1990 vintage. The 11th starter, I know this will be near and dear to your hearts, and a guy from the area we now call home, Gary Bauckham, the Bauckham Motorsports Fiat 124. The car number is 124. Gary out of Monroe, North Carolina. Brother John, a longtime Trans Am campaigner. We'll see what Gary Bauckham can get done here today.
Fast in that Fiat 124 since I was racing with my wife in IT back in the 80s. And more heroes in this class. Dave Strittenmatter has a yellow Lancia Scorpion. And then further back in the field, one of my favorites, an Opel GT from Ken Alderson from Westlake, Ohio.
Saw that car earlier this weekend. I thought, man, that's got to be the last remaining Opel GT race car in the world.
They used to call him the baby Corvette.
Yeah.
I was an Opel man. First time I went to the SCCA Solo Nationals back in 1980. So soft spot for Opels. But hell, I've driven all of these things. Interestingly, look at that Acura Integra. That's from the new generation. So's the Mazda Miata. But the Integra's a front drive car in the middle of all these rear drive little sports cars. A very different package.
Lotus Super 7's on the front row. You've got a bunch of Mazdas. Keep your eye on Huffaker starting back there in that 77 inside row 3. Of course, Eric Prill right in front of him, always a contender in his Mazda. Glad to have you with us. F Production for 50 miles of action here at Mid-Ohio. Green flag is in the air. Walker on the inside, Hussey on the outside. 3 wide behind those two. Here's Prill getting himself into contention. Huffaker on the outside trying to take 4th.
Man, this field is carpeted with cars. A lot of F Production, and that front drive car, it'd be interesting to see how he fits.
A couple of cars. Contact. The 98 is off. One of the Hondas in the field. He is in some trouble and off into the weeds early there as they crested turn 4 and started down the hill.
I saw a Fiat 124 Spider backwards. It might be Gary Bauckham.
How about Joe Huffaker in the 77 climbing to the lead here in front of Eric Prill?
Wow, where did our Lotus 7s go?
3rd spot belongs to one of the Lotus's, 5th to the other car. I believe that's Walker running back in 5th. 3rd spot should belong to Stephen Hussey, who started on the outside pole.
Wow, Huffaker had quite a start over there in Madness. He just drove by some cars. Well done.
Joe Huffaker out in front. Eric Prill running in 2nd spot. They start to extend it now. That's Walker in the blue machine.
Boy, Huffaker came out of the gate ready to run.
Not wasting any time after qualifying, only 5th. A guy who's won a ton of championships here at these SCCA runoffs. Did a bunch of races here at Mid-Ohio back when the runoffs were here every year on Speed Vision. That Joe was dominant with his car in.
Look at Eric Prill, boy. He was flirting with that dirt on the exit of 1. He's racing for his son, Maxton's fight, who's fighting cancer. And go gold hashtag to do the best there. Maxton doing a good job, bravely.
Yes, he is.
Bravely doing better and better and better. We think he's going to be. I think he's going to be okay, Rick.
He has worked hard, as has the whole family, as have all the doctors. Battling for position back 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Kevin Ruck has it now in the Acura. Saw some smoke showing back there. The other Lotus, the other front row starter, that's the car of Stephen Hussey, settling into 5th now for the lead. Huffaker getting lots of pressure from Prill.
That front wheel drive Acura, very light in the back. You see him lift a wheel. It's easy to lock a tire.
Let's take a look back at what happened when they came to the green here. The two Lotuses, Walker on pole, the early leader. but got a challenge early. Huffaker moving right up into 4th spot. Prill on the outside. That car got air. The 98 getting jacked up in the air, nearly going over. And then Kevin Ruck down the hill, battling for the top spot here in the early going.
Huffaker down the outside, both in turn 1 and in turn 6.
Joe Huffaker still leading. Eric Prill still second. John Walker is third. Ruck is fourth. Mason Workman now in the 52. Hussey, the other front row starting Lotus Super 7. He's gotten shuffled all the way back to 7th spot now.
He had trouble all week, didn't qualify until the last session, and I thought we were going to see some real fireworks from him. But like the other 7, maybe his car is going to come to life a little bit later into the race.
Lee Grimes there in the 98, that Honda CRX, the car that got jacked up and nearly went over as they came down the hill out of turn 4. Meantime, for 2nd spot, pressure on Eric Prill now. The Lotus 7 of Walker, the pole starter, took a look to the inside of Prill, couldn't get the job done. 4th spot belongs to Charles Campbell there in the white Mazda.
And my mistake, that was Walker who had trouble all week. Finally qualified it on the pole. I think he's got a lot of speed potential in that Lotus 7, but not so much on the straight. That's a handling car.
Hussey in the other Lotus, 5th now as Prill takes a look on Joe Huffaker.
The Miata bigger, heavier, can't quite stop with the MG Midget. Huffaker holds him off by the lightweight and the handling.
And this may be, again, we've seen Joe win these nationals here in this car many times over the years. Maybe the car that's well suited to this particular racetrack.
I had to laugh at myself. A Mazda Miata being the bigger, heavier car?
Yeah.
But he's got a Lotus 7 on one end and an MG Midget on the other, and that's the case.
Kevin Ruck loses several positions in the Acura in the exchange through Madness and up toward Thunder Valley here.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think the front drive is not serving him well in the twisty bits.
Prill in 2nd spot, trying to turn inside Huffaker there in the carousel. Can't get the job done. Ruck has fallen back to about 8th spot, 9th spot maybe.
As we've seen time and again, it's hard to pass on handling capability here at Mid-Ohio.
Inside turn 1, an attack for 2nd spot. Prill in some trouble there. Walker trying to get by him. Not able to get the job done. Here comes Hussey in the other car, the other Lotus on the outside.
Never saw Mazda Miatas look so big.
Yeah.
Those little 7s, they're very, very light. They're almost like a Formula car.
They are.
Built in the 50s, brainchild of Colin Chapman, like a 4-wheeled motorcycle.
Yeah, just motorcycle fenders over those, what are essentially open wheels there in the front.
Right, not good aerodynamically.
No. For 4th spot, though, Campbell under attack. Hussey in the orange Lotus 7 on the outside, heading toward turn 4.
Prill's got the straight line speed to take a shot at Huffaker in the brake zone, but it's just not, he just can't brake late enough yet.
Huffaker in the 77, able to put that car wherever he wants. You can see him use up all the road in that MG Midget.
The 7s really shine back here through Madness. When your car's light, you can go back and forth. Whoa, that's a wiggle.
Campbell in the 89. The white Mazda got her sideways, able to straighten it back up and keep going.
Bad car control getting all sideways. Good car control catching it.
As long as you can catch it, you're okay.
You're okay.
Huffaker opening up the lead of about 4 car lengths now as they hit the carousel.
Makes for good TV.
Sure does. Makes for a great story after the races as well.
This part of the course suits the Miatas better. The part we just finished, all through Madness, suits the little Lotus 7 and the MG Midgets better.
Huffaker into turn 1, still your leader. Prill in the 7 is second. The 5 of Walker, that's the Lotus 7, the blue car, in third in front of Charlie Campbell there in the 89. 1 car off, another Mazda. Working on Kevin Ruck. Ruck able to get by and move back up into 6th position in the Acura.
Yeah, Ruck is getting his act together. Interesting to watch this front drive. He just can't run with the balanced cars in the important carousel and keyhole.
Working lap number 5 of 23. 52 miles of racing. 40 minutes by time if we have a full course yellow here. That could come into play. We've had that a time or two where we've had time-limited races. Challenge for 4th on the inside. Hussey in the 37. Able to get by the 89 of Campbell.
Lightweight, good in the brake zone. And so good in Madness.
Your outside pole starter, Stephen Hussey there in the 37, back into 4th position. Campbell is 5th. Kevin Ruck is 6th in the Acura. 7th spot belongs to the 47 of David Bednarz.
These little Lotuses are fastest when they're all by themselves.
Yeah. Up front, still Huffaker, your leader. Prill in second spot. Remember, Joe Huffaker qualified only 5th in that 77. But a guy who's been doing this at a very high level for a very long time certainly knows the lesson that one of your best places to make hay is on the start of one of these races.
Impressive so far this race. He has adjusted for the different track condition. I think it's a good 15 degrees cooler than it was earlier.
Earlier in the weekend.
In the week, sorry.
Yeah. Huffaker, Prill, Walker, your top 3. The 37 now. Steve Hussey back to 4th. Campbell is 5th. Ruck is 6th in the Acura. Another car, that Miata off again. That car's been off a couple of times.
Way off.
And he will reel it in. Looks like something may have broken in the front end. Those wheels were not headed in the same direction if you notice the front wheels as he came up over the hill there.
Yeah, they were cranked.
We will
or
stay.
Maybe he was just trying to miss that wall.
I think that was Bednar's in the 47. It will stay green.
Shows you how tricky that turn 1 is. It's a fast corner.
Yeah, no question about it.
Drops down, the car frees up, then it goes back up and catches you, but for that driver, too late.
Stephen Hussey on the outside there in the orange Lotus 7, challenging for 3rd spot, but John Walker able to keep the position. They get fighting each other. The top 2 will continue to pull away. It's still Huffaker out in front. Brill in 2nd. 5th spot belongs to the Miata of Charlie Campbell. 6th is Ruck in that Acura.
I think I would recommend a little Team Lotus work here. Those guys hook up and try to reel in Prill. Prill's having a good day in his Mazda Miata. I remember you and I at Road America watching Eric leading in this class, I believe, and that Miata had a brake issue right at the end. It was another heartbreaker. Seen that happen over and over this week. You never know.
Wasn't it last year at Daytona? Eric was leading into the final couple of laps.
I don't know. Was he?
I think so. I believe that's if memory serves. And same thing. Had problems late in the going. Meantime, under attack here for 4th spot. Charlie Campbell in the 89, one of the Miatas in the field, trying to get going here, make a move on Hussey. Ruck back there in 6th, watching all of this as F production continues to unfold here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. 6 laps complete, 17 to go.
Did a little digging here. Yeah, Eric Prill, 2nd 3 times in this class. And 2nd now for the moment.
So he's got the bridesmaid thing figured out completely. Is he going to be the bride here today would be the question.
I think he's closer than he has been to Huffaker. Maybe he can pull off that pass. He keeps trying the outside when Huffaker doesn't block, but he's protecting. You're allowed to pick a side.
Here comes Eric Prill in 2nd spot. He's got to be careful. Walker in 3rd is right there as well. You can put yourself in a position that you don't want to be in. Another Lotus 7 making a move. The 4 car. Peter Morton gets by Mason Workman's 52. That's for 7th spot.
That was a beautiful pass. He stuck it down the inside, braked super late. Blew by that Miata in the brake zone at the end of the straight.
Morton turning in the fastest lap that time. One of the fastest laps, certainly.
The Lotuses have a lot of potential due to their light weight. They're incredible little cars.
Top 5 running in the 136s. From there on back, Workman and one of several cars, one of 3, turning laps in the 137 range, but making some hay, picking up a spot there in the 4 car.
Notice these Lotuses, they're English. So they're sitting on the wrong side, which is the right side.
Yeah.
And the right side is the right side for Mid-Ohio. It actually improves your cornering balance. You can get a better corner weight on the car, better setup when you have the driver's weight on the inside, especially in a car where the driver is 20% of the weight of the entire car.
Absolutely. So we have Lotuses in 3rd, 4th, and now 7th. A host of Miatas in the mix as well.
Those Lotuses have a little 1275 engine in them. Well, the Super 7s may have the bigger ones, the bigger Kent. And the Miatas are 1600. They're modern, double overhead cam. The Lotuses they're antiques, designed in the 50s.
Sure.
And an incredible, amazing car, which is another sports car at the heart of the Sports Car Club of America.
Top 3 with a great fight going on. Walker in the 5 car. They have stretched it out now. Top 3 within 7/10 of each other. As you can tell as they crest the hill here. Huffaker in the 77, your leader. Prill in the 7, 2nd. John Walker in the blue Lotus there in 3rd position. Those 3 cars, meantime, have got a little more than a second over the 4th place machine of Stephen Hussey.
Prill is doing a great job, and this is his 15th Runoffs appearance. He's a regular. He not only works for and really helps in many ways run this whole club, but he's a racer. He's a racer at heart.
Leaders moving by some lap traffic.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Rick.
The Go Gold you see on the side of his car, that's in honor of his son, fighting cancer, and he's going to win it. He's going to beat it.
The 5-car of Walker there poked the nose of that machine to the inside of Brill in the carousel, but couldn't move by.
A little bit of traffic coming up is going to affect this race because look how tight the pack is.
You talk about diversity in that production. We didn't get a chance, as we don't, to go through these long starting lineups in the couple of moments we had before the green. But one of the lap cars there, a Volvo P1800, I think.
Yes, a Volvo
Now
P1800.
tell me that you raced one of those as well.
Well, no,
okay.
But I did race a Volvo.
There you
Look
go.
at this 3
to
wide.
the inside, second spot. Prill loses the position here.
Oh.
Walker gets by. Your pole sitter takes over second. Here comes Hussey. He's going to elbow his way by into third. So Eric Prill gets shuffled off the podium at the moment.
The Volvo was not good to Eric Prill.
Yeah, broke his momentum, I think.
Didn't do anything wrong, but created a traffic situation that did not work out well for Eric.
There's another Miata with a very high roll cage. The yellow car getting lapped there at the back of the field. And Kevin Ruck in the Acura up behind the 89 car. Ruck still hanging on in 6th. Top 6 have formed up a freight train again. And we'll see if one of the Lotus 7s can take a run at Joe Huffaker, who's led all the way. Took the lead on lap 1. Got a great start from 5th. He rocketed through the first couple of rows. Took the lead before the cars were on the backside. And Joe has led all the way so far as we work on lap number 9 of 23.
The production classes are very historical at SCCA. Been around forever with these same sports cars since the 50s and 60s. And a few years back, they were kind of dragged kicking and screaming into at least the 90s anyway. And you see cars like this Acura Integra show up for about a 92 or 3 model, I'd say that is. The Mazda Miatas came out in 1990. They're the newer echelon, the new wave, as such it were. But still a 20-year-old car, that Acura.
No question about that. The technology in this class has been limited for quite some time. Here's Ruck to the inside wanting 5th and a lead change. Pole sitter Walker able to get by coming up the short straightaway to the carousel, to the keyhole rather, and Walker takes the lead back from the 77 of Huffaker. Here comes Hussey in the other Lotus.
I wonder if Huffaker's car is going a little off because that.
Trouble.
That's bad.
There's contact.
That's really bad.
That Lotus into the wall. Huffaker's going to slap the wall as well in the 77. 2 cars in trouble on the long straightaway through the kink as they fought for position. The lead changed a moment ago. Here it is again. Hussey. I don't think Huffaker knew he was there. I think Joe was trying to turn to the inside there to the line coming to the kink.
I want to know Hussey's okay. He's going to have he had a hell of an impact, excuse my French, into that wall on the other side.
And those cars, those Lotus 7s, very lightweight. There's not a whole lot to them. It's pretty much a tube frame with some aluminum body panels.
I cannot wait to see him up and walking around healthy. Racetracks really need to be surrounded by soft walls the whole way around. That was a big hit.
There's the Lotus.
That was a big hit.
It was left side contact primarily, so Walker hopefully is fine. And Joe Huffaker with the visor up, heavy damage to that MG midget that has won this championship with Joe driving so many times down through the years.
It's that little kink halfway down the straightaway.
I think Joe just went to the right to try to get to the line there.
Yeah, it just kind of narrows the line. Wow. That was painful just watching it. The
no
speed
question.
at which that Lotus disappeared from the screen.
No question. Full course yellow.
Makes me nervous.
As you would expect here for the 2 cars in the grass on the fastest part of the racetrack. Longest straightaway coming out of the keyhole and headed down through the kink going to turn 4.
Rick, as I mentioned on our Garmin Verb hot lap, that little kink in the straightaway, it's easy to keep your foot on the floor. But passing situations right here, they get a little kooky.
Yeah.
Because you got to get 2 or 3 or 4 cars around that little bend flat out.
So the safety crew here from Mid-Ohio in their Homatro Honda Ridgelines on it immediately. Pace car waving the field by here. And we'll pick up the leader as he comes back around, one would think. John Walker will have the restart lead in the 5 car. Eric Prill and Charlie Campbell now will move up to 2nd and 3rd after a tough break for Hussey in one of the 2 Lotus 7s that qualified on the front row. And then Joe Huffaker, who started 5th but grabbed the lead on lap 1, led the first 9 laps.
You know, Rick, I wonder if maybe the leader there, John Walker, if maybe he just passed pace car. You know, it looks a little bit like an Acura.
Well, I saw the
It is an Acura.
safety car in whoever the official in the passenger seat waving the field by. So
Yeah.
I did see the glove out the window. So they will come around, no doubt, and the safety car will again pick up the leader. Ruck will restart in 4th spot. Peter Morton and Sam Henry will be your top 6. Mason Workman, Ken Kennard, Brian Lynn, who won a championship earlier this weekend in another class yesterday, and Mark McAllister will be the top 10. Lynn in the 21 car, trying to go for 2 titles here this weekend.
Lynn started 21st.
He is on the charge.
He's come a long way. We do have an award called the Sunoco Hard Charger. He's definitely going to be in contention for that.
Joe Huffaker out of the car, big tall guy.
Looking tall, yeah.
As you can tell, picking up the pieces from that 77. Huffaker Engineering, one of the great West Coast race preparation shops, engine builders.
Oh, they build beautiful stuff. And MG Midgets, surprisingly, tall guys like me fit in them.
Yeah.
You kind of lay down, your legs go straight out in front of you.
Sort of like a Formula car.
Yeah, very much like that.
Yeah.
In fact, they're not even that much heavier than a Formula car.
All right, so a tough impact for Joe Huffaker in the 77, and then the Lotus 7 of Stephen Hussey. Let's get it downstairs to Hayward.
Guys, you're just talking about the weight of these cars. The lightest car is the Lotus of Walker up front. In qualifying, it took the very last lap of qualifying for him to be able to put a quick time in. Some of the people on pit lane speculated that was because it took a little while to get heat in those tires and really bring that car up to its performance potential. This caution may give the heavier cars a break on their tires, and it may also hurt the lighter cars because they're going to lose some temperature.
Good point indeed, Hayward. We will see how it develops here. And you do see that, Randy, sometimes. It takes a while. You said a car comes in. The race kind of comes to you, and the car starts to work better halfway through a race like this.
That makes a lot of sense given what we saw at the start where the Lotuses fell back immediately. And then especially John Walker, but Hussey too, started to come alive and start getting faster and working their way back up. Even this Lotus, who's our other Lotus guy back here? Peter Morton?
Yeah, Morton in the 4.
We saw him make a beautiful pass for position at the end of the straight where it might have been the tires coming in.
Safety car now able to
There you
pick up
go.
the leader, John Walker. So we'll have a single file restart as soon as the carnage is cleaned up there on the long straightaway, coming to the starting line, the pro starting line here at Mid-Ohio, which is in use again this weekend for these runoffs. So it'll be Walker, Eric Prill, Charlie Campbell, your top 3, 2 Miatas chasing a Lotus 7. Then Kevin Ruck in the Acura will restart 4th in front of Morton in the 4 car, Henry in the 137, Workman in the 52, Kennard in the 51, and Brian Lynn, that's his MG Midget, up to 9th for the restart in front of Mark McAllister in the 23.
Very impressive.
Yeah. Now here comes Lynn. Oh, we got a quick glimpse of his yellow paint scheme.
It's the same car.
Yeah.
Might have had an engine change. In fact, trying to change engines may have kept him from being able to put the right setup in it during the qualifying sessions.
Could be.
That could be why he's back there. We know he's got a lot of talent. Ran a great race to take the win. And it was STL, perhaps?
Was it STL yesterday?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of race cars in a lot of classes so far
We
this
have,
weekend.
and some amazingly great races, including Brian Lynn's.
Day number 3, final day of action here in these SCCA runoffs. A little glimpse ahead. Lunch will be up next, so we'll be taking a break of not quite an hour or so, but at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Formula F will come on the racetrack. Greg Creamer, Dorsey Schrader will be back for Formula F, and then Spec Racer Ford 3, the faster models of Spec Racer Ford that have been on track the last couple of years. So Greg and Dorsey will have those 2 events for you. Then Jeff Lepper will join me. Randy, you've got other things to take care of in Salt Lake City, I know, the next few days. So you're going
I hate to go.
Head out here shortly.
Yeah, I appreciate the help from Jeff Lepper, and I'm going to hate missing these races. I'm enjoying it so much, and I'm going home and I'm building a car, and I'm coming back.
There you go.
next year.
There you go. So Jeff and I will have the call of Touring 1 this afternoon. That's at about 10 till 3 Eastern Time. Prototype 2. And we'll wrap things up with GT1, the Trans Am type cars, to close out these SCCA runoffs.
There's my Opal, the red one with the black stripes, back in the pack. Loving that. I think I met that guy up at Road America a couple years ago.
There's the Fiat 124. That's Gary Baucom's car.
Good, he's still
right
still
in front
running.
of him there. There's the Opal.
That's a neat-looking
Opel
little car.
GT, yeah, exactly. And Honda CRXs in this field, and in F production, just about everything you could imagine. Field slowly down through the kink now. Raised finger indicates 1 to go till the restart. Now the clock, and these races are 40 minutes by time. We're coming up on the lunch break here.
I think John Walker and Peter Morton should be working those tires in those lightweight Lotuses, although they do have full sun. Track temperature is a big effect. I don't know if that's one to go from the starter. We've still got Huffaker's car sitting there. Maybe that's just the way the
may have been the pay attention because we're going slowly through this area where the cleanup is still taking place here.
Yeah, they call that the hand. When you're the person that sits in the passenger seat of the pace car, you're the hand. And that may just be the way they hold their hand.
15 minutes of racing left and 11 laps to go. I would guesstimate that we will end on time here in this event in F production because of the hard hit by Huffaker and Steve Hussey on the other side of the racetrack. Both drivers okay.
That's Dave Strittmatter and his Lancia Scorpions.
There you go.
Got to throw him a shout. Great guy. Used to crew for TC Klein Racing back when we were winning races right here at Mid-Ohio in the good old Firestone Firehawk Series.
Talk about pro teams back in the history of this sport.
Yes, sir. And Eric Prill has really benefited from that crash. One man's pain is another man's pleasure in racing. Not that he got any pleasure out of it. I shouldn't even put it that way. But he did benefit. He's still his third spot right in it. He had he kind of fell back when they were lapping the cars down in turn 2. Everything happened right there within a very short space of time, didn't it?
It sure did. No question about that. All right, we are halfway, and this will be lap 13. We'll have 10 to go as we continue under caution here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Field single file prepared for a restart, but the cleanup not yet complete on the long straightaway. Out of the keyhole down to turn 4 through that kink area, and that's exactly where the trouble ensued. We saw Joe Huffaker, I believe, and we haven't yet been able to talk with him on pit road. And again, a guy who has won multiple championships in these SCCA runoffs, especially here at Mid-Ohio down through the years. Looked to me as though Hussey tried to go to the inside in the kink. Huffaker may not have known he was there. These cars are very low. The Super 7 and that MG Midget, you don't necessarily see peripherally as well out of those cars as you might want to.
The kink makes it a little tighter going around there, and it's a place where you can get in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw.
One of the signature signs here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, the pylon, the trilon as they call it, up by the bridge.
I encourage racetracks to have like these soft tire walls or one of these impact safety systems barriers all the way around.
Absolutely.
Because you really never know where a car can hit the wall. This is such a good example of those two cars touch there halfway down the straight.
Yeah, of course.
And they end up hitting bare concrete. And bare concrete makes a different kind of situation. Sometimes it's better to glance off. Then the tires tend to catch you, which is why it's good to have them banded.
Yeah.
See how you have that
there's Kevlar or some sort of rubber paneling there holding them in.
Yeah, that's better than just having stacked tires.
Well, think about it. All the times, going back into your history and mine, we used to have just tires stacked up there. You'd hit them, it would slow you down, but they'd bounce all over the place and get on the racetrack and cause a caution that'd be hard to clean up and all that. When they came up with this idea of wrapping those tires, you can go into them and it will catch you, stop you. And it's quite good. Obviously, the trick is to have safer barriers, which we have on ovals. And one of the controversies in pro racing and in big league racing, if you want to call it that, in recent years has been exactly that. NASCAR drivers, Jeff Gordon, one of the guys very vocal, saying, hey, put safer barriers all over. He got hurt a couple of years ago by hitting an unprotected area of racetrack.
Yeah, it costs a little money, but you know what it costs? It costs about the price of one race car.
Well, the safer barrier is about $1 million a mile. So that's an expensive fix, but you can't put a price on someone's life. So,
but there are new technologies available.
There are new technologies. You talked about the impact.
Impact safety systems has a barrier that won't even, the cars don't bounce off of it either. You mentioned that's what happens sometimes with tires. The technology is advancing. Yeah. And I'd like to see the safety go with it.
Sure. And your point, the overall point, and I agree completely, is we need to get to a point where every racetrack has got that type of barrier everywhere. Where there's no Armco, no Jersey barriers, that kind of thing. Cost-wise, you hear track operators say, well, it's just not practical. This is a 2.5-mile racetrack or a 3.5-mile racetrack. We've got 8 miles of fencing we need to protect here. But I can guarantee you no one wants to see anyone lose their life in a race car. And if we can save lives, which we can with that kind of barrier, then we need to make that change.
I hate to admit, I know what concrete barriers feel like.
Sure.
And, you know, you need a strong barrier because job one is to keep the race cars from ever getting to the spectators.
For sure.
Right? You need it. And then you put a buffer in front of that. And Armco has been a good compromise for many years. It's not as hard, but it's still strong enough to keep the cars out of the spectator and the worker areas. But technology's made it even better.
Yeah.
You can put a buffer in front of that Armco and make it even better.
Well, one of the things that's changed here in Mid-Ohio in recent years, and of course NASCAR races here, there are Xfinity Series races here. IndyCar and NASCAR have worked hand in hand on the safety technology over the years. Check out the catch fencing there. Now, that's not a spectator area. That catch fence is there to keep cars from going out of the ballpark there.
And into the trees, which we've seen before, haven't we?
Yes,
I heard some stories of...
All right, field coming down pit road here. Red flag being displayed. Is that right? Is that a red or a black?
That doesn't look very red to me.
That's a safety flag. That's a safety flag, and the field being brought into a stop here, which raises some questions in my mind. Have we seen the last competitive lap here in F production?
That would be a checker, though.
Yeah.
So a black flag stops the race, and typically you restart.
10 minutes to go as you see our time clock.
It's a black flag all. It's not a red flag.
Yeah. You see the time clock there at the top of your screen, less than 10 minutes now.
Rick, this is not a good sign.
No.
Maybe the wall's damaged?
Could be.
And they need to reposition it?
We saw Joe Huffaker out of his car. And the field being brought to a stop here on pit road. Of course, Stephen Hussey, the other driver involved, we saw the car come to a stop on one of our replays. It did not appear to be that heavily damaged. Certainly enough damage to take him out of the action this morning, but
There's Brian Lynn, right?
Yeah.
And Jesse Prather right behind him, who is deeply involved in SCCA racing, actually builds a lot of the engines in these cars, including Eric Prills. And behind Prather is my buddy Dave Strittmatter, that all-yellow car with Lancia Scorpion, very rare. It's got a Fiat engine. And we're going to hopefully be able to restart this race and see if Eric Prill can wrest the lead back after finishing second 3 times in F production. He is overdue for a win in this race.
And the question mark here is Stephen Hussey's part of that incident. And hopefully all is well there. We haven't received any reports yet of any other problems, but something's going on clearly because the field has been stopped on pit road with less than 10 minutes to go by time in F production here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course.
John Walker is the one who I was wrong at the beginning. He's the one who had no time all week and then got the pole, as Hayward Wagner said, on the very last lap of the very last qualifying session. That would have been a bad feeling if you're on the bubble, right? Or if you're the guy that had the pole, and then the last lap, boom! And now Walker's leading. And so, you know, I'd have to get in the rule book to see how long a race is an official race distance.
We're past halfway, so we should be okay.
14 laps in.
Customary, and I don't know the rule book that intimately anymore in SCCA competition, but generally in racing, if you're past halfway, it's an official race. Don't know if that's what we'll end up with here or not. But we're hearing that there is damage to the fence down in the kink down there where Joe Huffaker hit the wall on the inside. I
thought maybe it was a safety barrier issue, and they may have to straighten that out or something.
Could be. Hayward Wagner on pit road in front of the field that has stopped behind the safety car. Hayward, what are you hearing?
Yeah, guys, the original report here on pit lane was that there was some fluid down that needed to be cleaned up. I just talked to the pace car driver, and they said everything on the track looks clean. There is some wall repair that they're looking at. Our understanding here is that the black flag was thrown to pause the clock and give this race a chance to restart.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm happy to hear that.
Update. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we got a great race, and these guys hopefully can go back at it and go for the runoffs win. There's a lot of championships in this field, a total of 7 different championships represented by the drivers in this field. Some of them from this week.
Yeah, this week, Brian Lynn. Absolutely the case.
Yeah, and so hopefully they can get them back out there. Everything's cooling off. They're going to have to really make an effort to warm up the tires and the engine oil and the gearbox. Well, the oil's not going to cool off that much, but the water will. When they go back out again and warm up themselves, their brains, and get ready to go in this F production field. I just kind of have fun looking at all these cool cars. There's that Volvo P1800, the black one.
It's a Ford Fiesta out there behind the Volvo.
Ford Fiesta. Oh my gosh, I got a Ford Fiesta story for you.
All right. Good
buddy of mine, Bill Boyer, who was an SCCA racer in the early 60s for many, many years. He bought one brand new as a street car. And 10, 15 years later, I bought it to turn into an ITC race car for my ex-wife, Linda Popst. And we got that Fiesta. I got a deal on a roll cage, bolted it in, got some friends to help. We had that car on track for $900, including car, roll cage, tires, wheels, everything. $900.
That's a
I'm
deal.
proud of that.
That's a deal.
And it could win on a short course. In the IT category, the problem with the Fiesta is it's got first, second, third, and fifth. There's a big gear
gap
ratio
between
jump.
third and fifth, huh?
Yeah, not many people know that, Rick.
And I had one that I drove for a while as well.
You did?
Not in competition. It
Rick,
was not much of a street car.
You just keep going up in my book until you said that.
I'm trying to get to your level, Randy Popes. There you go. As we see Joe Huffaker's MG Midget go by on the hook, heavy damage to that car. Hayward Wagner back on pit road.
Guys, well, we have a minute just to talk a little bit about this class and differences in cars. This is Kevin Ruck's Acura Integra. The weight on this car, 2291. And if you look at this car, the belt line of it, as they say, the door is about mid-thigh for me. And there's still a considerable amount of car above that. If we come back to the 4 car, to the Lotus, you'll notice that this car has a 1530 weight. And look where the belt line is on me. We're talking about probably an 8 to 10 inch difference between the belt lines of these cars. And the only thing above the belt line here is a little bit of roll bar and a driver.
Good point, and to the point that we've made off and on, the diversity of cars that you have in the field here, one of the things that makes F production so much fun, I think, to watch. And you talked about the Lancia that's in the field, Randy, and we pointed out the old Volvo P1800, the Fiesta, the range of Miatas from different years, Ruck's Integra, the only one of that sort, but we've got a couple of Honda CRXs in the field as well. So you've got an MG Midget, Brian, the 21 car that won here yesterday. Doing a great job in that machine as well. All right, Hayward, how are you? We're waving back at you, buddy.
They just called it. Checker is out. This race is done.
Wow. Brian Lynn in the 21. We were struggling to remember Brian's name there for a moment. All right, checkered flag waving, and
that
we will call this
Walker
complete. So John Walker, who started on pole and retook the lead, will get credit for the victory here. And Eric Prill, we've seen about every set of circumstances for Eric over the years that you could think of. He will have to settle for another silver medal. Charlie Campbell will get third. Kevin Ruck will come home fourth in his Integra. Obviously, it's going to take some time to fix the wall damage over there.
Rick, there might be something else going on here. They didn't finish that lap, or did they? So
I think it's counted complete because they came over
they
came over the stripe.
Yeah.
They came over the stripe behind the safety car, so it would be scored 14 laps complete.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, sir. So there you have it.
So John Walker climbs out of his Lotus 7.
He's the winner. It's kind of a funny feeling win for him, but I think he deserves it. He got in the lead.
He raced his way back into the lead.
Yes, he did.
Kept his nose clean
I don't
dropping
think he deserves it. I know he deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely the case. You see this sometimes in racing where the distance is not fully completed because of an incident on track. Yeah. Hayward Wagner with our gold medal winner in F production.
John Walker, our winner in F production. John, a very challenging week for you. Only got one qualifying session. Did you have any idea you were passing for the lead when you took the lead of this race?
Yeah, I was fully aware it was for the
passing for the win. I'm sorry.
At the win, no, not at that point. One thing we kept on ourselves. It's a very long race. At that point, I figured we were probably only about halfway, and once I got in the lead, the real fight was probably just about to begin. I saw in the mirrors Huffaker and Hussey got together there. I just hope Steve's okay. I don't know. It didn't look very good. So,
well, let me ask you. You are now a national champion. You've won an F production. If you had the chance to go out and finish this race, would you go out and finish it?
Yeah, I'm going to drive the car. I was having fun. So, But having said that, I'm glad it's over, and I'll take the win. So,
well, congratulations to you on your championship.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Hayward Wagner talking to our champion in F production, John Walker. Eric Prill will pick up the silver medal honors, and Charles Campbell will come home third, and he'll earn the bronze medal. Kevin Ruck, the defending champ, has to settle for fourth. Peter Morton, Samuel Henry, Mason Workman, Ken Kennard, Brian Lynn in ninth, Mark McAllister rounding out the top 10 over David Strittmatter. And Doug Weaver, Michael Sturm in 13th, and Gary Baucom in 14th. And let's get an update again. Back to Hayward on pit road.
Guys, here with Eric Prill. And Eric, you and I have joked several times that you're running out of ways to avoid the top step on this podium. This is a new and different one for you.
Yeah, boy, it was a crazy race. It was a lot of fun. First off, I really hope that Steve is okay. Wrecking on the straightaway, that's not good, and I could kind of sense that was about to happen. So I made a mistake going up into the keyhole on that lap as we were getting into some traffic, and John got to the inside of me, and I thought I would take advantage of it and try and get around Joe, and it let John by me, and it ended up being the winning move for him. So another solid run for this car. Very happy to again be on the podium and with the car in one piece, and thoughts are with Steve, and thanks to Hoosier Tire and Mazda Speed and Maxton's Fight especially. This is September, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. That's why I've got Go Gold on the car. So thinking about that always. And congratulations to John Walker.
How badly would you like to jump back in the car and finish this one off?
Oh, I want to restart, but I think that there's a whole bunch of people here there's one guy here that doesn't want to restart, and but that's the way it goes. I guess they've got to repair the track out there, and sometimes that's the way the race ends.
All right, well, good talk.
Good talk.
Way to go, Eric.
You can see, talk about a class act. Eric Prill has been a friend for a long time in this sport. He's worked on the pro side, and that's where I met him, of course, when he was involved in media relations and that kind of thing, and has moved into an executive role with SCCA and does a great job there in Topeka, and loves to race these cars. And Randy, you've lost more than any driver. It doesn't matter how many championships you win, you lose more times than you win, and you have to learn how to lose with grace. And Eric, unfortunately, has had a lot of experience in this category. Back downstairs to Hayward.
Charlie Clark, compared to last year, you had a positively boring race, didn't you?
I did, yes. Had a good race going. First, I hope Steve is okay and Joe's all right. It looked nasty. This is not the way that I think any of us wanted to end the race.
Did you see the incident? Were you in position to see it?
Eric was between them and myself. I didn't see the contact. All I saw was them splitting in front of him and going each direction. I saw them both hit the wall. It didn't look good.
Well, congratulations to you. Another Runoffs podium here for you in the Mazda Miata.
Okay, thank you very much.
Charles Campbell in the 89, the white machine there, finishes in third position after the early end to F production here today at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. So
boy, that interview, that just barely saved me from singing Aerosmith. You got to lose to know how to win.
I'll take a lot of things you have to sell me, but I don't know that I'd take you singing Aerosmith, my friend. We'll pass on that one. But there's your top 10. Ruck in fourth, Morton in fifth, then Henry, Workman, Kennard, Lynn, and McAllister rounding out the first 10 in F production. John Walker is the winner in the crash-shortened event. Eric Prill and Charles Campbell rounding out the top three. And again, certainly best wishes to Joe Huffaker, who appeared to be okay, was out of the car, visor up, walking around. And Steve Hussey, we did not get a chance to see Steve in his car. And there you go, Hussey in the orange machine there. We had contact early on, the 98 nearly going up and over. Other cars in trouble here. Charlie Campbell gets kicked sideways at that point. And then we had Hussey in that orange Lotus 7 on a move. There's Walker's winning move, the pass going down into turn 4. This is what Eric Prill was talking about here. Huffaker moving to the outside, Walker to the inside, taking over. Then the all-black flag. Everyone coming to pit road. This race ending 9 laps early. For Randy Phillips, I'm Rick Benjamin, back after the lunch break.